Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? Good afternoon. Hello. Hello, everyone. All right. I am Purnima Kochikar, and my team has the privilege of working with apps and games developers globally. The animation you just saw is inspired by the amazing content you create, which gives people superpowers and helps us move the mobile ecosystem forward. Thank you. Before we jump into what's new on Google Play, let's take a moment to look back at the amazing growth we have seen since we met at I/O a year ago. You heard at the keynote that Android and Play are being used by increasing number of users around the world. Android is now active on 2 billion devices monthly, and an astounding 82 billion apps have been installed from Google Play in the last 12 months. This is translating into more developers finding success on Google Play. In the last year alone, the number of developers with more than 1 million installs grew by 35%. This is phenomenal and makes me truly happy. Give yourselves a very big hand. We are also investing to enable everyone to pay for your apps and games using forms of payment that they prefer. For example, Americans prefer credit cards, Japanese prefer DCB, and Germans prefer PayPal, and Brazilians prefer some kind of a prepaid method like gift cards, which give them control over their payments. The sheer scale of our payment platform that you see behind me continues to amaze me. As a result, we are seeing that increased number of people paying for your apps and games than ever before. In the last year alone, the number of new buyers on Play grew by 30%. In particular, we are seeing great traction for the subscription business model. The number of subscribers grew by 2x last year, with 62% of the subscribers telling us that they use their app at least once a day. Beyond payments, we are also investing in capabilities to help you reach more users in more ways. The Play Store is now available on Daydream VR and on Chromebooks that allows you to reach users in interesting new ways. Last year at I/O, we previewed Android Instant Apps. This allows your users to get access to your apps without the hurdle of having to install the app. We are very grateful to many of you, I can see you in the audience here, who worked with us to make that vision a reality. And today, we open up Android Instant Apps to everyone. I hope you'll all start working on them. And yesterday, we previewed Android Go, which is our optimized version of Android for emerging markets devices. As you know, there are billions of people in emerging markets who are coming onto mobile for the first time. Please take the time to look at the Building for Billions guidelines to help you build for these devices. Above all, we are taking into account quality in every decision we are making on the Play Store. Through programs like Early Access, we are bringing you dedicated and highly motivated 23 million plus people who are willing to test your apps and give you feedback while they're still in development before you put it up for production. We are engaging with indies around the world to find the best quality games, and we are showcasing them on the Indie Corner. And we are also taking into account engagement in all our algorithms that shape our top charts. And today, this evening, we will host the second annual Google Play Awards. We will be celebrating the best of the best acknowledging great quality in apps and games. I hope to see you there. Please come, be inspired, and come to celebrate what makes great apps and games. So, just as your apps are giving people superpowers, our engineering and product teams are working on capabilities to give you the superpowers to succeed on Google Play. So are you ready to see what they've been cooking? You can do better than that. All right, put your hands together for Matt Henderson, Group Product Manager.
Great. Thanks, Purnima. Hi, everybody. So in your organizations, who else besides you cares about the success of your app? Who else contributes to the success of your app? A lot of people, right? In a variety of roles. Well, have a think about who else in your organization should be using the Play Console. When we started the console 5 years ago, it was a means to get an app from A to B, from developer to the phone. But over the years, it's become much more than that. With a variety of users and a variety of features, the Play Console is playing a much broader role in the success of your app. With more features, the user base has broadened to different roles in your organizations. Our users now are product managers, they're marketing managers, they're test engineers, and of course, they're Android developers. So think about who else in your organization should be using the Play Console. Now, with that growth in the variety of features, UI design needs to keep things organized. So in addition to talking about features today, I wanted to touch on the UI look and feel of the console. You may have noticed some changes. We've launched a new, cleaner and clearer material design-based Play Console. And it has a new name. The Play Developer Console is now just the Play Console. This reflects the fact that although all of your organizations develop apps, not all of you are developers. The user base is getting more and more diverse as we're playing a more diverse role in the success of your app. And early feedback about the UI suggests we're on the right track, such as this from the e-commerce app Zalando. The redesigned Play Console is more intuitive, it's more structured, it's more convenient. But of course, in addition to a new design, we've been hard at work with new functionality. So here are some highlights of launches from the past 12 months. There's been features to help app quality, like beta testing and the pre-launch report. There's new tools to manage the release process. There's also new reporting and pricing features to help you identify and take advantage of opportunities to grow your business. And now, at this I/O, we're announcing important new and updated features in all of these areas. They go even further at helping you create high-quality app experiences. They go even further at helping you mitigate risk in the release process, and they go even further in helping you to achieve business success. Now I'm going to hand over to some more of the team to give you a snapshot of each of these different features, starting with Fergus, product manager from the Play team in London.
Great. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Who here wants to know the secret to get a 5-star app on Google Play? All right, great. You came to the right talk. We did machine learning over all the Google Play reviews, and what we found is that 50% of all the 1-star reviews are talking about stability issues. So if you want to increase your star rating and reduce the number of 1-star ratings for your app, the number one thing you can do is focus on stability of your application. Okay, then once you fix those stability issues, what do you do to be able to increase your star rating to that golden 5 stars? Well, you focus on design, usability, and speed. Yesterday in the keynote, you might have seen Android Vitals. This is our initiative at Google to help you be able to understand the performance and stability of your applications. We've had hundreds of millions of users who've opted in to share their device diagnostics and usage data with Google so that we can be able to help partners like you be able to provide better experiences. We're now giving you that data in an aggregate fashion so you can be able to understand your performance. We're starting with 3 performance areas: stability, battery, and rendering. We're going to be expanding to many more over the course of the next year, and so stay tuned for those. Now, as we expand to more and more performance areas, there's a lot of data to be able to understand. How do we simplify it for you? Well, we're introducing this concept of bad behaviors. Bad behaviors are when your app falls in the lowest 25% of apps for that metric. And if you are in the lowest 25%, we'll flag you as being in the lowest 25%, and you'll be able to understand that you should prioritize fixing your app in that area. So the first area is stability. This is all about providing a robust and stable experience to your users that is reliable. There are 2 performance areas, 2 performance metrics within this area. The first is your ANR rate, or application not responding rate. This is when your app freezes for more than 5 seconds. Second area is crash rate. This is when your application closes on the user. The second performance area is battery. So this is where your app is using the radios or the CPU unnecessarily. And the 2 performance metrics that we're focused on here are stuck wake locks. So this is where you hold a wake lock for more than an hour when the device is supposed to be idle. And the second one is wake ups. This is where you're waking up the device more than 10 times per hour when the device is idle. The third performance area is rendering. So this is providing users with that silky smooth experience on their device so that they feel like your app is responsive and fluid. The 2 areas that we have in this metric are slow rendering. So this is when 50% of your frames take more than 16 milliseconds to be rendered. So you're not achieving that 60 frames per second that users expect from their device. And the second one is frozen frames. This is where 0.1% of your frames take more than 700 milliseconds to be rendered. This is where users can actually really feel that there's a lag in the application. Both of these are shown in the Play Developer Console alongside all the other bad behaviors that I mentioned. So you can go to the Play Developer Console as of right now, and you can be able to see this data for your application, and then you can be able to focus on improving those core metrics. For each one, we provide links to developer.android.com, which gives you help articles of how you can be able to fix these issues yourself. Finally, and if you don't care about your star rating, which I'm sure most of you do, we also have other reasons why you should care about this performance area. We're starting to use this performance data in the promotability in the store itself, and other things that we're going to talk about later on today at 5:30 in a talk on the top 10 things to improve the stability of your application. You can be able to learn more about how we're improving the Play Store to be able to use this performance data. Now, I've talked a lot about the field data with Android Vitals. Now I'm going to welcome Ricardo on stage, who's going to talk about how you can be able to understand the performance of your application before you launch it.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here today. Today, I want to talk to you about the Play pre-launch report. The pre-launch report summarizes issues that are found when testing your app against a wide range of devices. We launched it last year in the Play console, and you can find it there today. Pre-launch report actively contributes to the success of apps, and already thousands of you are already using it to create better apps. And I want to mention a few updates that we have about it. The key aspect of pre-launch report is app stability testing. We use a robot crawler to automatically test every APK that you upload to alpha or beta channels in the Play console against several physical Android devices. The robot tells you if it encounters any crash during a 5-minute crawl, which means that you can then fix the crash before it reaches production, and your users will not leave a 1-star review because of that. In the past year, pre-launch report has seen great momentum. Over 58% of Play top apps have opted into using it, and we have conducted over 6.5 million robot crawls across hundreds of thousands of APKs. But the number that I like best is not this one, but this one. In 85% of the cases, when pre-launch report found a crash, the app was not later pushed to production, which means that millions of users have not experienced these crashes that would have otherwise affected them, which is pretty nice. So we continually improve pre-launch report to make it even better. For example, to allow the robot to explore more of the app with data that you control, you can now provide test credentials that the robot will use to pass through login screens and explore more of the app. Pre-launch report automatically scans your app for vulnerabilities and privacy leaks using the knowledge of Google-owned security teams. Over the last year, we added new scans, and now we detect over 30 different types of vulnerabilities and privacy issues, from using obsolete libraries that have known issues to leaking identifiers. Pre-launch report also captures screenshots and videos during the crawl. We improved the way we capture them and we collect them, and we now take into account the structure of your app, such as the activities it's composed of and the transitions, to better cluster the screenshots intelligently. And this gives you a better view at a glance of how your app looks like across its various parts, which is great for spotting visual inconsistencies in your app look and feel. But this is the one that I like the most. We added new devices to the farm, including the Google Pixel running on Android O preview. So that means that without any work, you can check how your app performs on Android O and be ready for when it launches later this year. So you can go and upload an APK right now to the Play console in alpha and beta, and there's a good chance that by the end of this talk, you get a sense of how your app performs on Android O. Or at worst, it might take an hour. So this is all I have for you today. I hope the pre-launch report gives you that sense of amazing security that other developers like Playdemic are already finding on it. And I would like now to introduce on stage James Smith, Product Manager on Play. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricardo. Hi, everyone. As Android developers, one of the most important things you have to look after is your app signing key, because your app signing key ensures the security and integrity of your app. Lost or compromised keys can be a very serious issue. Your private key is required for signing all versions of your app. If you lose or misplace your key, you will not be able to publish updates to your app. Your only option would be to publish a new app under a new package name and ask all of your users to move across. This would be obviously a terrible experience. So that's why we're very excited to be launching Google Play App Signing. If you join this program, Google Play will manage your key on your behalf and sign your app before delivering it to users. It's really easy to get started. First, you securely upload your app signing key to Google Play. That means it is now safe on Google servers, and you don't need to worry about balancing security and convenience of access to your key. You can even delete it. Now, to make sure that updates to your app come from you, the authorized developer, any new APKs you upload will be signed with an upload key that Google uses to verify your identity. The upload key can be reset, which avoids the key loss scenario I described earlier. We've had several partners using Google Play app signing for a while, and the feedback has been really positive. Here, Robinhood speaks to the layer of safety that we've added, while at the same time all but eliminating the worry of having lost or stolen keys. Now, once Google Play signs your app, we can go one step further, and we can provide optimization services at your request. The first optimization we've decided to focus on is making apps smaller. We know that developers care about app size because users do. APK size is correlated with download success and with uninstall rate. Looking at APKs, we can see that developers include native libraries and different architectures and drawables for different screen densities so that apps look and run their best on every device. But this means that a lot of the contents of an APK is unnecessary for every device. If I have a phone with a 32-bit architecture and a HDPI screen, then I only need the contents of the boxes in blue in this diagram, and the rest in green is completely unnecessary for my device. With app optimizations, Play will deliver just the right content for each device. You give us a universal APK, and we will automatically create optimized APKs for different devices. We're just getting started exploring this area, and it's still early. But we've tried this out with apps that were in our early access program, and we expect the average signing to be about 15%. However, some apps have seen better results. Deliveroo was 33% smaller after optimizations, and the 7-minute workout app was nearly a half smaller at 48%. So when can you get these benefits? Well, app signing is available today. We are trialing app optimization in beta with a few partners at the moment, and we hope to widen the beta in the near future. If you're interested in optimizations, please enroll in app signing today. And if you'd like to find out more about these topics, please come to our talk at 2:30 this afternoon on stage 1. Thanks. I'd now like to invite Mike, the engineering manager on Google Play, to talk about Device Catalog, which is also available today.
Thanks, James. So, as we saw at the start of this talk, the Android ecosystem is seeing significant growth. And this is in part due to the diversity of Android devices, with a range of different capabilities and price points. We hear that you love the reach that this brings, but understanding this device space and targeting the right devices can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. And so, to help with this, we have launched a new device catalog section in the Google Play console. Thank you. Using everything that we know about Android, we've gone from this long list of device codes to a rich, full-featured device catalog. Looks pretty awesome, right? So what can this do for you? First of all, we provide detailed device specs, including RAM, system on chip, GPU, screen size, and OS version, for every one of the thousands of Android devices that are certified by Google. We also group these devices into models and allow you to drill down to understand the variations between them. To help navigate this device space, we provide search and filter options, allowing you to slice and dice the catalog by various device features. For example, you can use this to quickly find all SDK Level 24 devices with the Snapdragon 810 SoC. Or, as you see here, all devices manufactured by Google with more than 2 GB of RAM. And as you may have noticed, this is more than just device specs. With any filter, we also provide key metrics for how your app performs on these devices, such as installs, average ratings, and revenue. In addition to this, we've also introduced another new feature we call device exclusion rules. This allows you to exclude your app from a specific, targeted set of devices using key device performance indicators. For example, if you're developing a rich graphics game, you could use this to only target devices with more than 1 GB of RAM. You could also create a rule to exclude all devices with a particular system on chip. This can allow you to temporarily prevent deployment of your app to a specific set of problematic devices until you can push a fix. Whenever you create an exclusion rule, we will always show you which devices will be excluded, along with installs and revenue metrics to help you make this important decision with confidence. As you can see, Space8 Games have found a great way of incorporating these new device tools to reduce costs and improve KPIs. To hear more about this new device catalog feature, along with other release management tools, you can check out the recording of this talk that was presented yesterday. Also, please swing by the Play Console Sandbox area in Dome C where myself and other engineers from the console are available to give demos, answer questions, and hear your feedback on this or anything else relating to the Google Play console. And with that, I'm going to hand you over to Suzanne to tell us about even more new ways we have to help you release with confidence.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike, and hello all. I will walk you through the release dashboard, which we launched yesterday. You want to make sure that your production release is successful. We've always been ahead of the curve with tools to prepare great releases. Think about the pre-launch report that Ricardo discussed earlier, and our alpha and beta channels. But now, we also give you the data to monitor your production rollout, out of the box, without the need for an SDK. This data is offered in low latency and can help you make decisions about your rollout sooner and with more confidence. Let me show you a few highlights. When you push a new release, you obviously care about crashes. We give you absolute numbers, as well as crashes per 1,000 devices, to put those numbers in context. The default view shown here offers a comparison between your current release and the aggregate of all app versions that you have in production. If something does look off, you can then go straight to the crash clusters page to see if you introduced any new crashes. Releases aren't all about crashes, though. You also want to see ratings and reviews that are specific to your latest version. When the rating for your latest version is significantly lower than that of your overall rating, you may want to start looking into your 1- and 2-star reviews to see what's going on, and possibly even halt your release. But what if you could also see install events? Broken down by new installs and updates. This can tell you whether enough users updated to your new version to push your rollout onto the next stage. And think about the power of knowing how many uninstalls came from updated devices. Are you losing existing customers because your latest version isn't performing well? Play has these numbers for you out of the box. So I encourage you to think about what makes a healthy release. Your crash tool may warn you if you have a huge spike. Your PM may panic if your ratings tank. But what about subtle but significant changes across metrics? Would you ever notice if you didn't see them all in one place? And to empower your decision-making even further, we also let you compare your release against a previous release of your choice. This gives you even more context. You don't only have your crashes and ANRs. You don't only have the impact that these are having on your ratings and on your uninstalls. But you can also see how these metrics compare to a previous release that you considered successful. All in one place, all within hours of your release starting, helping you minimize the time a bad release spends in production. So next time you roll a new version out, monitor it with the release dashboard. It is the new topmost item under release management. And now over to Preston, engineering manager, to talk you through the new statistics pages. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne. Hi, everyone. We've been hard at work this year addressing your top requests in Play Statistics. I think you'll be quite pleased with what we have to share with you today. I'd like to introduce the new Play Statistics page. From this snapshot, you can start to see start to feel the magnitude of effort we've put behind the stats experience since last I/O. Right now, I'll briefly touch on just a few of my favorite features. First, let's drill down into date selection. As you can see, we still have the preset date ranges, but these presets are not sufficient for all app business needs. So I'm happy to say that we've added a custom date range selector to let you choose the period that you're most interested in. Next, we know that many of you manually compare data in the console with data from previous time periods. We've made that process much simpler by plotting a comparison time period right alongside your selected date range. This allows you to easily see period-over-period trends that will highlight the impact of releases, marketing campaigns, and even public holidays. But time periods aren't the only thing we want to compare. Now, on the Play Statistics page, you can select multiple metrics to compare at the same time. When you can easily compare related metrics, such as crashes and ratings or installs and revenue, you can start to uncover relationships in your data that are specific to your app and to your market. The last thing I'd like to mention is hourly data. We're introducing new hourly stats to help you understand the behavior of your app throughout the day. This knowledge will help you as you plan time-sensitive events such as releases. But to me, the most exciting part about hourly data is that you won't have to wait until tomorrow to start to see data for today. I think you'll agree that we've made Play Statistics more useful to help you build successful apps. I've only touched on a few of the things that we've added. I'd invite you to come and join us in the sandbox to talk about more. With that, I'll hand it over to Tamsin, our business development lead, to talk about user acquisition.
Thank you. Thanks, Preston. So, once you're confident that your app's health and performance is optimal, you'll probably want to drive new valuable users to your app, right? Well, in my job, I talk to developers every day, and they tell me how critical it is to understand how effective their marketing channels are at acquiring and retaining new and valuable users. They tell me they need more data to make the right decision about where to spend their money and where to spend their time and effort in optimizing their growth strategies. Since last I/O, we launched 2 improvements to the user acquisition report to make this area of the console even more useful for you. Now, just to remind you, the user acquisition report shows you how many users go to your store listing page, of those, how many people install your app, and of those, how many people buy and buy again. So the first improvement was that we added country to the user acquisition traffic breakdown. And this is really critical because we want you to expand and succeed and reach those 2 billion monthly active Android devices around the world. Now, this report is great because it will show you where the unrealized opportunity is so that you can prioritize your international expansion. The second improvement is that we added peer benchmarks. Now, this lets you see how your app conversion compares to similar apps in the same category who monetize in the same way. Now, it's available both in the acquisition report and in the country report. So it lets you see obvious areas for improvement, it lets you see areas to further invest your acquisition, and lets you celebrate your team's success. Now, I'm pretty confident that most of you here care about building long-term customer relationships, right? So today, I'm really excited to announce version 2 of the funnel, especially for businesses like yours who have a strong focus on user retention. It shows retention periods, which are a critical metric for understanding which channels are bringing you your most loyal users. And this is your retained installer base. It shows you the opportunity to increase retention using notifications and email or increasing your app quality. So, from today, you'll be able to identify which channels are bringing you your most valuable users, which countries they're coming from, and you'll be able to identify the opportunities you have to increase your install and buy conversion and increase your user retention. Now, all of these reports help you optimize for your growth strategies, not just for installs, but for long-term business success. So regardless of the way you monetize, we have an acquisition report that can help you grow your business. Now, if you want to learn more about this, or the release dashboard, or the new statistics page, you should come to stage 1 at 1:30 right after this and watch Making Data on Google Play work for you. So come and see us. Now, to tell you more about the improvements we've made to reviews, I'd like to welcome back on stage Fergus.
Great, so I'm back again to help those people who had their hand up earlier about trying to get a 5-star app on Play. radical improvements to the whole ratings and reviews section on the Play console over the past year. I'm going to tell you some of those improvements we've made and we've just announced. So one thing we announced at Google I/O last year was reviews analysis. This enables you to be able to see the topics that people are talking about in your reviews on Google Play and prioritize which topics are having the largest negative and positive impact on your rating in the store. We've heard from developers that they are using this to be able to prioritize their feature development. And we're now expanding to other languages so you can be able to understand what people in geographies that you have your app available in, but you don't speak the language, are saying about your application. So the second most popular language on Play is Spanish. And as of yesterday, we now have Spanish topics available in reviews analysis. And a major market for developers on Play is Japan. So we also now support Japanese topics. This is where we're putting Google's machine learning to work for you to be able to understand your users and what they're saying. A limitation on the Google Play reviews for developers over the past couple of years has been that when users update their reviews, we're only able to see the latest update of their review. Now we're enabling you to be able to see the full review history of the reviews that user has left for your app, unless they completely delete their review. This enables you to be able to have a fluid conversation with your users and be able to communicate with them effectively. So once you start engaging with your users and you start responding to their reviews, how do you understand if it's actually working for you? Well, we have updated rating section. This is where we show you what is the change in rating for reviews that you've responded to versus ones that you haven't responded to. And what we see is that developers are seeing major results in improving their star rating of their app by engaging with their users, because users in general update their rating to a positive rating as a result of engaging with them. Finally, another improvement we're making to the reviews area is the ability to be able to flag reviews that have passed through our first level of flagging that we do internally of reviews, where if you think that one of the reviews that is posted on your app does not match our posting guidelines and is being filtered through, then you can be able to flag it, and we'll do another manual review check and evaluation of that review to be able to determine if it matches our posting guidelines. And if it doesn't, we'll remove that. This has already been rolled out to a percentage of Play developers and will be rolled out to the rest of all developers over the next couple of months. If you want to learn more about the secrets to being able to get a high-rated app on Play and increase your user retention, come to the talk we have later today at 5:30 to be able to learn more about the things I talked about in Android Vitals earlier, things Ricardo mentioned in the pre-launch report, and these ratings topics that I just talked about. I'd like to welcome Tom, who's a product manager on Google Play, to come on stage now and talk about subscriptions.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. So let's just imagine for a second that you guys have used all the great tools that you've heard about over this I/O. And you've worked with your teams and you've made awesome apps. How do you monetize them? Well, we think one of the best ways to do that is to use subscriptions on Google Play. And one of the reasons we think that is because subscriptions are growing stratospherically. We heard from Purnima earlier on that the number of active subscribers on Play has doubled in the last year alone. That's great, but it's only one data point for a long-term trend. In fact, consumer spend on subscriptions on Play has gone up 10 times in the last 3 years. That's an amazing opportunity for developers like you to make more money, more regularly, and more reliably. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that probably sounds pretty good to quite a lot of you. And quite a lot of us at Google have been trying to help you, have been really working to power your subscription businesses. So today, I'm going to share a few of the slew of new features of subs that we're launching at I/O this year. These are features to help you guys. Now, we know that to run a successful subscription business, you need really good data. So I'm really happy to say that earlier this week, we launched a brand new part of the Play console, the subscriptions dashboard. The subs dashboard pulls together key metrics and information about your subs business and puts it all in one place. So at a glance, you can see your total number of subscriptions, your new activations and your cancellations, your daily and your 30-day rolling revenue, and even your top-performing subs. This is a great area to get an overview of how well you're doing. It's brilliant if you want to spot trends or identify anomalies. And when you do identify an anomaly, you're going to want to know more. You're going to want to know even better data. And for that, over the coming weeks, we're launching 3 brand new click-through reports, each tailored to a key part of your subscription lifecycle: the acquisition report, the retention report, and the churn, the cancellation report. So let's look at them all really quickly. The acquisition report builds on the wonderful funnels that Tamsin showed earlier. But now it's a funnel that's tailored especially for your business. So not only can you see which of your channels drive the largest number of installs, but you'll see which drive the largest number of free trialists, and which of your acquisition channels eventually drive the largest number of high-value, repeat-paying subscribers. If you care about putting your money and your effort into the channels that give you the highest value users on subscriptions, this is the report for you. Secondly, there's the retention report. This powerful new report allows you to compare different cohorts from different subscriptions. So if you've got a brand new sub that you're experimenting with, and you want to see if it outperforms your others, you can quickly and easily plot it and make that decision to make it the primary one that you sell. Or if you try to use some of our advanced features, like introductory pricing, for instance, then you can see here the impact it has on your burn down. This is a really, really good place to inform your product decisions to increase your retention. And lastly, there's the churn report. So let's be honest. When someone cancels your subscription, it sucks. But this report rocks. And the reason I love this report is because for the first time on the Play console, you can see the exact days that people choose to cancel your subscriptions. This means that you can start seeing the impact of that release that you made to try to lower your cancellation rate. Or you can use this to start building the business model behind that feature that you think is going to keep people around for longer. Taken together, these 3 reports and the dashboard give you a view into your subs business that you have never been able to have on the Play console before. But we know that the insights you derive from these are only the beginning of the story, because those insights drive your decisions, and those decisions drive what tools you choose to use. So I'm also really happy to say that this I/O, we're announcing a brand new tool called Account Hold. This will allow you to know when a user's payment has failed, which is one of the leading causes of subscription cancellations. At that point, Account Hold will let you withdraw the entitlement of your great content in your app and tell the user why. You can say, hey, there's been a problem with your payments. Go into Play and fix it. And the user will have 30 days to fix their payment failure. We've been working with trusted testers and trying this feature out, and we've seen a 25% increase in retention rates. So, Account Hold and the new subscriptions dashboard are just 2 of the many features that teams across Google are creating to help you guys build successful businesses. Now, hopefully that's whetted your appetite. So if you want to know more, I really encourage you to come along to Stage 1 tomorrow at 10:30 to join me and a couple of colleagues as we really delve deeply into how to make more money using subscriptions on Google Play. So with that, I'd like to invite back to the stage Purnima and Matt to round the session out. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. So much new stuff. So, in addition to making use of the sessions, please do go online to g.co/play/developers. You can read much more about all of this new stuff there. And also think about who else in your organization can become a user of the Play console. And also, if you haven't already, I do encourage you to download the Playbook app. We've released a new beta with a whole lot of new content. It's a great way to stay informed of all of our announcements, our blogs, and other great content to understand the features.
All right. So hopefully that has whetted your appetite to try to build amazing apps and games. And I hope to see you this evening at the Google Play Awards at 6:30, where we are celebrating all the wonderful work that has happened over the last year. I want to thank you for challenging us to continuously innovate, for adopting the features that we invest in, and creating things that actually provide superpowers to your users. So thank you very much for being here, and hope to see you at the Google Play Awards.